What if I told you there's a reset button for your energy? And you can press it right now. Right now. No matter how heavy your day is, how anxious you feel, or if it seems like nothing is going right, there is a secret, an ancient message from Thoth, the scribe of the gods, that has been hidden from most people. The message is simple. Your reality is just a frequency, and I'm going to show you how to change that frequency instantly. But there's a problem. There's an invisible thief stealing your energy right now, preventing you from making that change. And in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to show you exactly who that thief is. Stay with me. Because what you're about to discover today isn't just about feeling good. It's about taking back complete control of your life. If you're ready for this change, comment below. I control my frequency. Most people live completely oblivious to this power. They see themselves as victims of circumstances, playthings of fate, reacting to events like a rudderless boat in the midst of a storm. They believe that happiness depends on external factors, on a better job, more money, another person. They don't realize that they are the very source of the music they listen to, the conductor of the orchestra that is their life. They keep the dial stuck on the frequency of fear, scarcity, and doubt, and then wonder why life continues to play the same sad and repetitive melody. This saboteur, this silent thief that steals your energy every day, isn't outside. It's not a person, a situation, or an economic crisis. It lives inside you, operating in the shadows of your own mind. It doesn't take your money, your possessions, or your time. It steals something infinitely more valuable, your frequency, your life force. And the name of this thief is a habit so common, it has become invisible. The habit of living anywhere but the only place where you truly have power. The only place that truly exists, the now. Your mind is an out-of-control time machine. At every moment, it drags you to the past, forcing you to relive regrets, hurts, failures, and traumas. You feel the same pain, the same anger, the same humiliation from years ago as if it were happening again. Because for your nervous system, it is. Every time you return to a painful memory, you drain your energy from the present to feed a ghost. And when you're not in the past, your mind projects you into a future that doesn't yet exist, drowning you in anxiety, fear, and worry about what might go wrong. Thoth, in his wisdom, taught that the present moment is not merely an instant in time. It is a portal. It is the only bridge that connects the invisible world of energy, thoughts, and intentions with the visible world of matter, experiences, and manifestations. When your consciousness is firmly planted in the here and now, this portal is open. Energy flows freely, and you become a channel for the creative force of the universe. But when your mind wanders, the portal closes. Your life force leaks into the illusions of the past and the future. You become a ghost in your own life. Your body is here, but your mind is elsewhere. You drive without seeing the road, eat without tasting the food, talk to people without really listening to them. You are operating on autopilot, while your vital energy is consumed by stories that no longer exist or by fears that may never materialize. This state of absence is the lowest frequency at which one can live. It is a state of total disconnection, the true root of all suffering, anxiety, and depression. The first technique to seal this crack and expel this energy thief is surprisingly simple, but its simplicity hides immense power. It's an anchor, a tool to bring your consciousness back home, to the present moment, whenever it begins to wander. And your most faithful, accessible, and powerful anchor is your own breath. It's always with you, and it only happens in the now. You cannot breathe in the past and you cannot breathe in the future. Breathing is an act of absolute presence, When you feel your mind pulling you, stop, just for a moment, and bring all your attention to the air entering and leaving your body. Feel the cool air entering your nostrils, the expansion of your chest, and the warm air leaving. Don't try to control it. Just observe. In this simple act of observation, you pull your consciousness back from the illusions of time and anchor it firmly in the only point of power you possess. You close the tap through which your energy was leaking. You regain control. By using this breath anchor, you not only regain your energy and power, but you also prepare the ground for the next step. You calm the turbulent waters of your mind, creating the clarity necessary for true alchemy to begin. Because with your energy now gathered in the present, you are ready to use the second key, a force capable of instantly neutralizing emotional poisons and transforming the worst of feelings into your greatest source of power. And this force is an emotion you know, but perhaps have never used to its full potential. Now that your energy is anchored in the present, with a calmer mind and power back in your hands, you are ready for the second step of transformation. You are ready for true alchemy. And the catalyst for this alchemy is gratitude. But not superficial gratitude. The polite thank you we say automatically. I'm talking about deep, visceral gratitude. A force capable of operating like a chemical substance that instantly neutralizes the most potent emotional poisons within us. It's a deliberate frequency shift. Think about it practically. It's neurologically impossible to feel genuine anger and deep gratitude at the same time. It's physically impossible to feel paralyzing fear and sincere appreciation simultaneously. One emotion cancels out the other. They operate at completely opposite vibrational frequencies. Gratitude isn't about denying pain, difficulty, or challenge. It's not about pretending everything is okay when it's not. It's about making a conscious choice, amidst the chaos, about which frequency you will choose to amplify within yourself. Even on the worst day of your life, in the midst of the darkest storm, there is always something to be grateful for. It may be something that seems small, almost insignificant. The air you still breathe, the fact that you have a bed to sleep in, the sun that has risen once more, a happy memory kept in your heart. The simple fact of being alive and having the chance to change everything. The exercise is to find that one thing. And when you find it, don't just think about it, feel it. Bring all your attention to the feeling of appreciation in your chest. This act is like lighting a small candle in a completely dark room. The darkness doesn't fight the candle. It doesn't struggle for its existence. It simply makes room for the light. Similarly, low-frequency emotions like fear, anger, and despair cannot coexist in the same inner space as the high vibration of gratitude. By focusing on appreciation, you are not fighting negativity. You are making the inner environment inhospitable to it. You are changing the terrain. By practicing this emotional alchemy, you begin to transform the heavy lead of negativity, complaining, and victimhood into the pure gold of awareness and appreciation. You are literally reconfiguring your internal chemistry. Your brain begins to create new neural pathways, training itself to look for what is working instead of focusing on what is broken. This change is not just mental, it is biological. You begin to emit a different electromagnetic field, a new vibrational signature. And this new chemistry, this new frequency, makes you receptive to an even greater force. The universe operates by laws, and one of the most fundamental is the law of resonance. Like attracts like. When you vibrate at the frequency of gratitude, you become a magnet for more experiences, people, and situations that will give you more reasons to be grateful. You leave the vicious cycle of negativity and enter the virtuous cycle of appreciation. You begin to tune into a new reality, This new frequency of gratitude opens a door. It aligns you with the flow of abundance and well-being. But to cross that door and make this new reality permanent, you need to learn to communicate with the universe clearly and directly. There is a language that the creative force understands, a language to which it has no choice but to respond. And this language is not made of requests or pleas, but of powerful decrees that shape the energy around you. Now that you've learned to anchor your energy in the present and use gratitude as an alchemical tool, your frequency is already different. You are operating from a place of greater power and clarity. The next step is to learn to use this power to deliberately create, to communicate with the universe in a way that it understands. And this communication is not made of vague thoughts or hopeful wishes. It is done through a secret language, a force you use every day without realizing it. The words you speak, and more importantly, those you silently repeat in your mind, are not empty sounds. They are vibrations, they are decrees. Each word carries a specific frequency that travels outward from you, like a wave, and begins to organize the energy around you so that it corresponds to the order you have given. Ancient traditions, from the sacred mantras of Hinduism to the incantations of magicians, have always known that sound has the power to shape reality. Your voice is a tool of creation. The problem is that most of us have been programmed to use this creative force against ourselves. Pay attention to your internal dialogue for just one day. Phrases like "I can't," "This is too difficult," "I'm not good enough," "Nothing works out for me," "I'll never have money" run in a constant loop. Each of these phrases is not an observation of reality. It's a decree that creates reality. You are unconsciously giving orders to the universe to bring you more experiences that confirm these beliefs. To reverse this process of self-sabotage, you need to start using the language of creation consciously and deliberately. You need to take control of your script. This is done through affirmations, but not weak affirmations, said without conviction. You need to formulate your decrees as if they were already an accomplished truth. Instead of saying, "I want to have peace," which vibrates with lack, you decree, "I am the personification of peace." Instead of "I would like to be prosperous," you affirm, "Abundance flows to me from all directions." Speak your affirmations aloud whenever possible. Feel the vibration of the words in your chest, in your throat. Infuse each word with emotion, with the feeling that it is already real. Emotion is the fuel that empowers the decree. By doing this, you are actively rewriting the programming of your subconscious. You are uprooting old limiting beliefs and planting new seeds of power, possibility, and worthiness. You are, line by line, rewriting the script of your life. This is your power as a co-creator of the universe. You are not at the mercy of reality. You are in constant dialogue with it. Your words are the instructions you send. The universe does not judge whether your orders are good or bad for you. It simply obeys them. It is a loyal servant of your dominant vibration. By changing your words and the feeling behind them, you change the instruction you are sending, and consequently, change the results you receive. It is a law as certain as gravity. But words, however powerful they may be, create the structure, the skeleton of your new reality. They draw the blueprint. Now, you need an even more powerful tool to fill that structure with life, to give color, texture, and form to this new home. There is a force within you that can accelerate the manifestation process exponentially, building your new reality in the invisible world even before it appears in the physical world. And that force is the power of your imagination. You have learned to use words as decrees, to draw the blueprint of your new reality. Now, let's enter the laboratory where this blueprint comes to life, where the skeleton is covered in flesh and blood. This laboratory is your imagination. And make no mistake, Imagination is not a useless fantasy or an escape from reality, as we have been taught to believe. It is the most advanced quantum simulator that exists, the sacred workshop where you can build, feel, and experience a reality before it physically manifests. The secret here is understanding a crucial fact about how you function. Your brain and nervous system can't distinguish between a real experience and one that was intensely and meticulously lived in your imagination. That's why your heart races and your hands sweat when watching a good thriller, even though your logical mind knows perfectly well that it's fiction. Your body reacts as if the danger were real. This mechanism, which often works against you, can be used to your advantage in an extraordinarily powerful way. The practice is simple, but it requires focus. Find a moment of quiet, close your eyes, and begin to construct the scene of your desired reality. But don't make the mistake of just seeing a mental image. You need to immerse yourself in it with all your senses. If your desire is a new house, don't just see the house, walk through it. Feel the texture of the floor under your feet, the smell of fresh paint or a cake baking. Listen to the birds in the garden. Feel the warmth of the sun coming through the window and touching your skin. The most important step of all is to feel the emotion. How would you feel if that desire were already a fulfilled reality in your life? Feel the joy, the peace, the security, the relief, the gratitude. Let that emotion fill every cell of your body. Remain in that state for as long as you can. By doing this, you are not just daydreaming. You are doing something very concrete. You are calibrating your energetic signature, your personal vibration, so that it corresponds exactly to the frequency of that reality. You are becoming a living magnet for your desire. You are teaching your body, at a cellular level, what it feels like to already have what you want. And because the universe responds not to what you think, but to what you feel, to what you vibrate, you begin to magnetically attract the people, opportunities, ideas, and circumstances that resonate with this new frequency. You create an energetic vacuum, a field of attraction so powerful that physical reality has no choice but to reorganize itself to fill it. This practice of creative visualization is what separates dreamers from creators. Dreamers want something, but continue vibrating at the frequency of lack. Creators feel the reality of their desire as if it already existed, and thus collapse time and space, bringing the future into the present. You shaped the energy with your mind, giving it a clear form and frequency. You built the blueprint in the invisible world, but for this energy to flow freely and manifest without obstacles, you need to purify the vessel that holds it. And this vessel is your own body. It is the temple where all this energy is anchored. If the temple is full of energetic debris from the past, the flow of new creation will be blocked. Therefore, before we can move on to the final revelation, we need to perform a purification ritual. We need to cleanse the temple so that the new energy can flow unimpeded, ensuring that its manifestation is not only possible, but inevitable. You used your mind and imagination to create a new energetic blueprint, a new vibrational reality. But this energy needs a clean channel to flow and manifest in the physical world. And that channel, that sacred temple, is your body. Often, we treat it as a mere vehicle to carry our head from one place to another. But it is much more than that. Your body is a living archive, a physical record that stores the memory of every thought, every joy, and especially every emotion you have ever had. Unresolved traumas, deep fears, swallowed sadness, repressed anger, none of this simply disappears. This dense energy lodges itself in your muscles, your organs, your tissues, like energetic waste. It creates blockages, knots, points of stagnation that prevent your life force, your chi from flowing freely. That's why often, even if you try to think positively and visualize, you feel something holding you back. A heavy anchor, keeping you trapped in a low vibration. It's your body crying out for purification. The ritual to purify this temple isn't complicated, but it requires intention. It's about conscious movement. And that doesn't mean forcing yourself to go to the gym or run a marathon, unless it brings you joy. It's about initiating a loving dialogue with your body, moving it in a way that helps it release what's stagnant. It can be something as simple as putting on music you love and dancing freely around your room, without worrying about steps or appearance. Just allow your body to express itself, to release what words cannot. A walk in nature, for example, is a powerful purification ritual. By walking and feeling the connection of your feet with the earth, you're not only exercising, you're allowing the dense and stagnant energy of your body to be discharged into the planet, which has the capacity to transmute it. Ancient practices such as Qigong, Tai Chi, or yoga were designed for this exact purpose, to use fluid movements, breath, and intention to circulate vital energy, dissolve blockages, and restore the body's balance. Every time you move with the intention of cleansing yourself, you are literally shaking off the energetic dust accumulated over years. You are opening the windows of your temple so that fresh air can enter. You are releasing the old, the dense, that which no longer serves you, and creating an empty and fertile space within yourself. And it is in this new and clean space that the energy of your new reality, the one you designed with your words and your imagination, can finally flow and anchor itself. Your temple is being purified. The channel is opening. The energy of the mind and the energy of the body are beginning to align, to vibrate in harmony. You are becoming a more efficient conduit for the creative force of the universe. The flow, which was previously blocked, is now beginning to move more freely. But there is one last gate, one last barrier that, if not understood and overcome, could invalidate all the work done so far. And the key to opening this final gate is the central revelation of Thoth's message. It is the secret that unites all the other keys and allows the transformation to be not only complete, but permanent and irreversible. It is the step that separates those who try to change from those who truly transform. And it is toward this revelation that we are now going. We have arrived at the heart of the message, the crucial point that unites all the keys and definitively activates the transformation. And the revelation is this: most people fail to raise their vibration because they wage war against themselves. They believe that to reach the light, they need to eliminate the darkness, fight against negative thoughts, repress difficult emotions, and run away from everything they consider bad. But the wisdom of Thoth reveals that this is the greatest and most exhausting mistake of all. True mastery lies not in escape, denial, or repression. It lies in transmutation. Your darkest emotions, those you fear most and try to avoid, anger, deep fear, overwhelming sadness, envy, jealousy, they are not your enemies. They are, in fact, your greatest source of untapped power. Think of them as coal. It's a dense, dark, raw energy. You can hate it, try to get rid of it. Or you can understand that. Under the pressure and heat of consciousness, coal transforms into diamond. The secret key, the great secret of inner alchemy, is to stop resisting. Instead of fighting anger, allow yourself to feel it in a safe environment, without judgment and without directing it at anyone. Feel the pure strength it contains. Instead of running from sadness, immerse yourself in it. Feel its depth, its ability to cleanse the soul. Embrace fear not as a weakness, but as a signal pointing to something that needs your attention and your love. Stop fighting and start embracing. By doing this, you are bringing the light of your consciousness into your own shadow. And when the light of unconditional acceptance illuminates a dark emotion, something miraculous happens. The shadow is not destroyed. It is integrated. The energy that was being spent suppressing and fighting that emotion, an immense amount of life force, is released all at once. And this release causes an instantaneous and massive increase in frequency. You are not getting rid of a part of yourself. You are reclaiming it. You are bringing your lost and exiled parts back home. Each emotion you integrate is a piece of your power that you reclaim. Anger, when integrated, transforms into passion and strength to set boundaries. Fear, when integrated, transforms into prudence and respect for life. Sadness, when integrated, transforms into empathy and compassion. You don't become weaker by embracing your shadows. You become whole, complete, unshakable. This is the true secret of inner alchemy, the central message of Thoth. It's not about creating light from nothing, but about having the courage to transform all your darkness into light. It's a process of inclusion, not exclusion. You stop seeing yourself as a fractured being, with good and bad parts, and begin to understand yourself as a perfect whole, where each part has its purpose and its power. The inner war ceases, and a deep and lasting peace settles in. And in doing so, in mastering the art of shadow transmutation, you don't just momentarily change your emotional state. You permanently alter your fundamental frequency. You climb a step on the ladder of consciousness and never return to the previous level. Your basic energetic signature is rewritten. Transformation ceases to be an effort and becomes your new nature. And from this new state of being, your influence on the world around you begins to manifest in ways you never imagined possible. By mastering the art of transforming your own shadows into light, you cease to be merely a student of alchemy and become an active alchemist. The inner war is over, but the transformation doesn't stop there, because your energy doesn't end within the boundaries of your skin. You are a living transmission tower, constantly emitting a frequency that propagates into the environment and interacts with the energy of everything and everyone around you. Your personal vibration creates a field, a wave effect that silently influences the world. Think about it practically. Have you ever entered a place and felt the air heavy? An inexplicable tension? Or, conversely, have you ever felt instantly light and at peace near a calm and cheerful person, even without exchanging a word? This is the physics of energy in action. You are constantly tuning into the frequencies around you and, at the same time, transmitting your own. Before, when you operated on autopilot, you were like a sponge, absorbing the negativity, stress, and fear of the environment without any protection. You were a passive victim of the collective energy field. But now, with your newfound power of transmutation and a higher fundamental frequency, the game has completely changed. You are no longer a victim of the environment, you become its healer. Your presence, in itself, begins to function as a tuning fork that helps harmonize the dissonant frequencies around you. This gives you a new responsibility, to become a conscious curator of your own field. Start being intentional about the frequencies you allow into your sacred space. This goes far beyond simply avoiding toxic people. It means consciously choosing the music you listen to, the movies and series you watch, the news you consume, and the conversations you engage in. Ask yourself, does what I'm consuming raise my frequency or drain it? The honest answer to this question becomes your compass to navigate the world without being contaminated by the static of collective negativity. This isn't about isolating yourself from the world or judging the choices of others. It's about protecting your temple. It's an act of self-compassion and energetic responsibility. When you refuse to participate in gossip, when you turn off news that only spreads fear, when you choose music that uplifts your spirit instead of music that reinforces sadness, you are actively protecting your vibration. You are telling the universe that you choose peace, clarity, and well-being, and that you will not allow anything that doesn't resonate with that to enter your personal energy field without your explicit permission. By doing this consistently, you create around yourself a powerful energy field, a kind of high-frequency aura. This field not only sustains and protects your own high vibration, making it easier for you to remain in that state, but also begins to positively impact the environment. People may feel calmer around you. Tense situations may dissolve more easily in your presence. You effortlessly become a catalyst for change, a force for harmony in the world, simply by being who you are and maintaining your frequency. Its influence becomes a silent beacon. But for that light to shine steadily and constantly, for that influence not to waver and fade in the face of greater challenges, it needs to be firmly rooted. Its energy, however powerful, is still a battery that needs constant recharging. And the purest, most potent, and accessible source of recharging is not in any complex technique or esoteric ritual, but in the most primordial force that exists, the force that gave you life and sustains you with every breath. Your newfound ability to influence your surrounding environment requires a great deal of energy. For your force field to remain stable and your vibration elevated, you need a constant and powerful source of recharge. Your personal energy, however well managed, functions like a cell phone battery. If you only use it without recharging, it will eventually run out. The most potent, clean, and infinitely available source of recharge in the universe is nature itself. Ancient traditions and indigenous peoples have always known this. We are not separate from the earth. We are an extension of it. Nature is our living matrix. The four elements of classical alchemy, earth, water, air, and fire, are not merely external substances found in the world. They are primordial forces, energetic archetypes that live and operate within us. Each governs different aspects of our being, and an imbalance in one of them generates an imbalance in our lives. Conscious reconnection with these elements is the most direct and effective way to recharge our energy battery and restore our inner harmony, ensuring that our vibration never runs out and remains strong. When you feel spaced out, scattered, anxious, or lost in thought, it's a sign that you need the earth element. Your energy is disconnected, floating without a base. The solution is immediate and profoundly effective. Take off your shoes and socks and walk barefoot on the grass, earth, or sand. Feel the solidity, stability, and cool, dense energy of the planet rising through your feet and anchoring your entire system. This practice, known as grounding, is one of the fastest rebalancing techniques available, discharging excess electrical energy from the body. When you feel emotionally stagnant, heavy, sad, or overwhelmed by dense feelings, you need the purifying power of the water element. Water governs the world of emotions. Immerse yourself in natural water such as the sea, a river, or a waterfall. If that's not possible, take a mindful bath, imagining that the water is washing away not only your physical body but also your energy field, carrying away all emotional density. Even listening to the sound of rain or a flowing river can help set your emotions in motion and clear away what is stagnant. To clear a confused mind, full of repetitive and unfocused thoughts, turn to the element of air. Air is the domain of intellect, clarity, and communication. Go outside to an open space and breathe deeply and consciously. Feel the fresh air entering, oxygenating your brain and body. And as you exhale, visualize that you are releasing all mental confusion, all thoughts that no longer serve you. Clean air brings new ideas, new perspectives, and a feeling of lightness and freedom to your mind, opening space for intuition. And when you lack passion, motivation, and willpower to act, you need the transformative energy of the fire element. Fire is the spark of life, the energy of action, courage, and transformation. The simplest way to connect with it is to feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Allow yourself to receive this golden energy, visualizing it filling every cell of your body with vitality, enthusiasm, and the power to manifest your desires in the world. The sun is a nuclear reactor of pure creative energy, and you can absorb it directly. By intentionally reconnecting with these primordial elements, you are not merely relaxing or spending time in nature. You are plugging your energy system directly into the planet's power source. You are performing a sacred act of recharging and realignment. With your energy now recharged and your field strengthened, you are ready for the next level of the journey, a quantum leap in consciousness that occurs when this now abundant personal energy begins to overflow from you and serve something greater than your own self. Up to this point, our journey has been largely inward focused. You have learned to master your mind, transmute your emotions, purify your body, and recharge your energy. You have built a strong, clean, and vibrant inner temple. But the true pinnacle of vibrational elevation, the ultimate test of your mastery, occurs when this energy you have cultivated with such care ceases to be solely yours and begins to overflow, to serve the world. The transformation is complete when the focus shifts from the self to the collective, in a great leap of expanding consciousness. The act of generosity, of selfless service, is perhaps the quickest and most powerful shortcut to escape a low-frequency state. Think about it. When you are stuck in your own problems, ruminating on your pains and worries, your world becomes very small and your energy field contracts. The most effective way to break this hypnotic pattern is to shift your focus away from yourself and towards how you can help someone else. In that instant, the prison of the ego dissolves and your energy expands to connect with something greater. Remember the last time you did something genuinely good for someone, expecting absolutely nothing in return. It might have been a sincere compliment that brightened a stranger's day, a listening ear that offered comfort to a friend in despair, or a small gesture of help to someone in need. Recall the feeling of warmth, purpose, and joy that filled your heart at that moment. That feeling wasn't a psychological reward. It was your own vibration instantly rising in response to the act of giving, of serving. Service expands your consciousness because it reminds you of the fundamental truth that modern society tries to make us forget. We are all interconnected. We are all part of a single consciousness expressing itself through billions of bodies. The pain of another is your pain. The joy of another is your joy. The healing of one is, ultimately, the healing of all. By serving, you break free from the illusion of separation and directly experience this unity. And this experience is one of the highest a human being can have, generating a wave of well-being throughout your system. And don't be mistaken in thinking that service needs to be a great sacrifice or a heroic act. The true practice of service happens in the small gestures of everyday life. It's the kindness in traffic, the patience in the supermarket queue, the word of encouragement to a coworker, the quality time you dedicate to your family. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, is like a stone thrown into a lake, creating high-frequency waves that spread far beyond what your eyes can see, touching lives in ways you may never know. By placing yourself at the service of life, you discover a marvelous paradox. The more you give, the more you receive. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, operates in a constant flow of giving and receiving. By becoming a channel of generosity, you open yourself to receive the universe's flow of abundance back. You stop struggling to get things and begin to allow them to come to you. You align yourself with the flow of creation, and this fine-tuning allows you to perceive and dance with the great cycles that govern all existence. By becoming a channel of service and generosity, you begin to realize that life doesn't move in a straight, predictable line of constant progress. Life moves in spirals, in cycles of expansion and contraction, just like the seasons, the phases of the moon, and the ebb and flow of the tides. Ancient wisdom, especially Taoist philosophy, teaches us about the flow of the Tao, the universal force that moves in a perfect, effortless rhythm. Trying to resist this flow, trying to force action when it's time for rest, is the source of all exhaustion and suffering. Modern society has programmed us to believe that we must always be producing, always growing, always performing at a high level. We live in fear of pauses, of rest, of moments of low energy. We label them as laziness, procrastination, or even depression. But this is a view that goes against the very nature of the cosmos. Trying to force spring in the middle of winter is a useless and exhausting battle. Wisdom lies not in fighting against cycles, but in learning to honor them and dance with them. There will be moments in your life of high energy, great creativity, and expansion. This is your inner spring and summer. During these times, energy is available for you to act, to build, to manifest, to bring your projects into the world. It's the time to plant and to harvest. But inevitably, these cycles will be followed by moments of low energy, of a need for withdrawal, introspection, and rest. This is your inner autumn and winter, and they are as important and sacred as the periods of expansion. Thoth's message is clear. The winter of the soul is not a failure. It is a sacred time of gestation. It is in the silence and darkness of winter that the seeds of your future, the new ideas, the new projects, and your next version can germinate safely, away from the eyes of the world. It is a time to integrate what has been learned, to heal what has been wounded, to rest and accumulate the energy necessary for the next spring cycle. Honoring your need for rest is as crucial as honoring your need for productivity. Learn to observe the cycles of nature around you and, especially, within yourself. Observe your own energy throughout the day, the week, the month. When your energy is high, use it wisely and with focus. Act with determination. When your energy is low, don't fight it. Don't blame yourself. Embrace the need for rest. Read a book, meditate, spend time in nature, simply do nothing. Surrender to the natural rhythm of your being, trusting that the energy will return when the time is right. By ceasing to fight against the current of life and learning to flow with it, you stop wasting an immense amount of energy and begin to use the force of the current itself to your advantage. You move with more grace, with more ease, with less effort. You become a surfer of life instead of a swimmer fighting against the waves. And in this synchronized dance with the cosmos, you begin to discover something extraordinary, a point of absolute silence and infinite power that exists at the center of all movement. In this dance with the cycles of life, you learn to move with the flow, but you also discover the importance of pausing. At the heart of a hurricane, there is a point of absolute calm, the eye. At the center of the universe, mystical traditions tell us that there is no noise, but a vibrant and fertile silence, the matrix from which all creation emerges. The practice of meditation, in all its forms, is the journey to find this zero point, this eye of the hurricane within you. It is the act of quieting the noisy voices of the mind so that you can finally hear the whisper of your soul. Many give up on meditation because they believe the goal is to think of nothing, which is practically impossible for the human mind. The true practice isn't about emptying the mind, but about changing your relationship with it. It's about becoming the observer. Imagine yourself sitting calmly on the bank of a river. The river is the ceaseless flow of your thoughts, emotions, and sensations. They come and go. The practice is simply observing this flow passing by, without jumping into the water, without being swept away by the current, without judging what passes by. In this space of pure observation, without reaction, something incredible and liberating happens. You begin to perceive, not as an intellectual concept, but as a direct experience, that you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, you are not the sensations of your body. You are the silent and still consciousness that observes all this happening. This is the experience of disidentification from the ego, the glimpse of your true nature, the divine spark that Thoth and all the great masters have described in different ways. In silence, you don't find nothingness, the emptiness of absence. You find everything, the presence of all potential. This is what quantum physics calls the zero-point field, the field of all possibilities, the fertile vacuum from which particles emerge into existence. By accessing this inner space, you connect directly with the source of creation. It is a place outside of time and space, where deep healing happens, where intuition speaks clearly, and where the wisdom you need simply emerges. Accessing this space regularly, even for just a few minutes each day, has a profound effect on your life. You become less reactive to external circumstances. The drama of the world loses its power over you because you have found a sanctuary of unshakable peace within yourself. You carry this silence with you throughout the day. Decisions become easier, creativity flows more naturally, and a sense of serene confidence begins to permeate your entire being. You know that no matter how chaotic the world seems, you can always return home to your center. By familiarizing yourself with this inner sanctuary, you prepare the ground for the final step of the great alchemical work. You have cultivated the energy, purified the temple, learned to dance with the cycles, and found the source of power in silence. Now, the only thing left is to solidify the gold. It is to bring this heightened awareness, this peace, and this wisdom into every moment of your waking life, merging the spiritual and the material into a single, cohesive life experience. It is the stage of total integration. The spiritual journey doesn't just happen in the silence of meditation or in isolated retreats. Those are training grounds. But the real game takes place in the field of everyday life. The final stage of alchemy, the great fusion, is integration. It's the moment when all the tools and keys you've learned along this journey cease to be techniques you perform and merge to become your new natural way of being. The transformation solidifies and becomes your new identity, your new default state of consciousness. You no longer need to remind yourself to practice gratitude because you begin to live in a state of appreciation. The beauty of simple things leaps out at you. You no longer need to force yourself to practice mindfulness or presence because you are simply present. Each moment becomes an opportunity to experience life in its fullness. The separation between your spiritual practice and your normal life disappears completely because life itself becomes your practice, your monastery, your celebration. Washing dishes ceases to be a boring task and becomes a moving meditation, an opportunity to feel the warm water, to be present with the task. A difficult conversation with a colleague or family member ceases to be a confrontation to be feared and becomes an opportunity to practice conscious listening, empathy, and the transmutation of the shadow in real time. Your job, whatever it may be, ceases to be merely a means of paying the bills and becomes a platform for service, for expressing your gifts and contributing to the world. Transformation is no longer a distant goal to be achieved in the future. It becomes the reality you inhabit with every breath. You are no longer desperately trying to raise your vibration, because you simply begin to vibrate at a higher frequency naturally, as a result of your new internal configuration. The struggle ceases. The effort to be spiritual disappears, and in its place arises an authentic, fluid, and effortless state of being. You stop trying to be and simply are. This is where the promise from the beginning of our journey is truly fulfilled. The instant change wasn't about a magic trick, but about the solidification of a new state of being that operates from a completely different level of consciousness. You no longer react to the world's triggers in the same way. The things that used to destabilize you for days now pass by you like clouds in the sky. You observe them, you acknowledge them, but they no longer disturb your center of peace. You become the master of your inner state. You no longer depend on external circumstances to feel good, because you have learned to generate peace, joy, and love from within. The external world loses its control over you. You have achieved true sovereignty, true freedom. And by inhabiting this integrated state of being, you discover the ultimate truth of this journey. The goal was never to become someone new, but rather to remember who you always were. We have reached the end of this journey, only to discover that, in fact, this is the true beginning. The goal of this entire alchemical process was never to transform you into another person, into an improved or perfect version of yourself. The goal was always much simpler and, at the same time, much deeper. It was to remove the layers of conditioning, the limiting beliefs, the fears, and the false identities so that you could remember who you truly are in your essence. The wisdom of Thoth always pointed towards this rescue of the authentic self. The new you that emerges in the end isn't truly new. It is, in fact, the oldest you, the original you, your pure consciousness before it was buried by the stories the world told you. It's the one who no longer needs to fight against the darkness, because they've learned to dance with it and use its energy as fuel for their own light. It's the one who no longer needs to seek happiness in external places, people, or achievements, because they've discovered the inexhaustible source of joy that springs from their own inner being. You no longer need an arsenal of techniques to raise your vibration, because you have become the high frequency itself. Your presence, naturally and effortlessly, begins to radiate peace, clarity, love, and coherence. You become a beacon. And think about the function of a lighthouse. It doesn't desperately run along the coast trying to find and save ships lost in the storm. It doesn't strive. It doesn't shout. It doesn't despair. It simply stands still in its place, anchored to its rock, and shines. Your light, effortlessly radiating from your integrated state of being, naturally illuminates the path. People around you begin to benefit from your presence. They may not know how to explain it, but they feel calmer, more inspired, more hopeful around you. Your peace becomes contagious. Your clarity helps dispel the confusion of others. Your authenticity allows others to be authentic as well. You become an agent of transformation in the world, not by what you do, but by who you become. You create a high-frequency ripple in the collective field, a silent but immensely powerful contribution to the healing of the planet. And you do all this without the need for recognition, without the need for applause, because your joy and your sense of purpose come from within, from the simple act of being and shining. You understand that the greatest gift you can offer the world is not what you have, but who you are. Your presence becomes your greatest service. Thoth's message has been fulfilled in its entirety. You have not acquired yet another set of intellectual knowledge to store in your mind. You have become living wisdom itself, embodied in every cell of your being. Knowledge has transformed into experience, and experience has transformed into your new natural state. And from this place of wholeness, of integration and peace, your one and only final task is the simplest and, at the same time, the most magnificent of all. And so, Thoth's final message, which echoes through the ages and now resonates within you, is this: the power you have spent your whole life searching for outside yourself, in gurus, in books, in religions, in relationships, in achievements, has always been within. The key to the kingdom of heaven, to the peace that surpasses all understanding, to the freedom you so yearn for, has never been in anyone else's hands. It has always been in your pocket, patiently waiting for you to remember to use it. The instant change promised at the beginning of our conversation was not a magic trick or an empty promise. It was the natural and inevitable result of a single, powerful decision. The decision to reclaim your energetic sovereignty. The decision to stop surrendering your power to external circumstances and to become the conscious master of your inner state. Change happens the instant you decide you will no longer be a victim, but rather the creator of your life experience. Throughout this journey, you have learned the practical keys to sustaining this decision. You have learned to seal the energy leaks that drained you, anchoring yourself in the power of now. You have learned to transmute the most potent emotional poisons into pure gold through the alchemy of gratitude. You have learned to speak the language of creation with your own words and to build new realities in your imagination. You have learned to purify your physical temple and, most importantly of all, you have learned to transform your greatest shadows into your greatest sources of light. You haven't acquired new knowledge that can be forgotten. You've awakened an ancient wisdom that already resided deep within your soul, in your spiritual DNA. You haven't become someone different. You've remembered who you've always been, beneath all the layers of programming. Now, the only task that remains, the only purpose that truly matters, is simply to be the beacon, to be the peace you wish to see in the world, to be the love you know you are at your core. There is nothing more to seek, nothing more to achieve, nothing more to prove. The journey outward is over. The journey inward has brought you home. Now, your task is to radiate the light of your true nature to a world that yearns for it more than ever. Every person you meet, every situation you experience, is an opportunity to anchor this new frequency on the planet. Transformation is no longer an event. It is your state of being. The work is complete. Now, go and live it. If you've made it this far, it's no accident. It means your consciousness is ready for this transformation. You've received the keys. You've understood the message. Now, the power is in your hands. To seal this new frequency and show me that you're committed to your journey, leave a comment below with the phrase, "Everything has already changed." If the content I've shared here has resonated with you deeply and you feel called to help this channel grow and spread more messages like this, there's a way to contribute more directly. In the first pinned comment, you'll find a link to support our work. Any help you can give is very important to me and to the growth of the channel, allowing this light to reach more and more people. But understand, just the fact that you've made it to the end of this video is already a huge help and demonstrates your commitment. If you can't contribute financially, you can still help a lot by sharing this video with someone you think needs to hear this message. And before you go, the journey doesn't have to end here. I've prepared a special video for you to take the next step. Content that will delve even deeper into what we've discussed and guide you in a practical way. So don't leave yet. Click on the video that's appearing on the screen now, and let's meet there. See you on the other side.